Hey guys, Hawk here. Setup build part 3, still building my desk. So we're just going to go over some of the stuff. I'm staining the second side right now. This first side, I actually stained the finished side first. So all the finished parts are already stained on the underside. And the reason behind that is because I also stain the edges at the same time I do the first part. And in doing that, some of it comes over. You can see that dark line right there. It will actually come over, and so since I'm only doing one layer of stain on this, you'll be able to see that, but since it's on the underside, I don't care. These are all the second sides, and let me get a little better lighting on that. So that's still wet, need to paint all of these. You can see it a little bit better because all that came over and I just wiped it down smooth, which is why it's so big. But you'll be able to see that. But since this is going to be on the inside of the, because this is going to be up against the wall actually, so you won't be able to see it. So I did the first staining on Thursday. It's Saturday right now, and the next Thursday I will start polyurethane, and then the Saturday, so a week from now, I should be finishing up the polyurethane because it takes two, one for one side, one for the other, and it takes quite a while to dry, so I just don't do them on the same day. I prefer it that way. So it should be done in about a week, at least this part of the desk. I still have one more part of the desk. Is the shroud that goes over this part all along, but that I can take my time on because the pieces aren't as big. These ones, the pieces really are kind of huge and they're taking up space downstairs, so I kind of need to get rid of these. So again, for me, it's going to be a few days, but for you, it's going to be just 1 second. I lied. You're not going to see it assembled quite yet. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the sanding block. It's a fine-grained sand. It didn't exactly say which one, but it is fine grit sandpaper. And I'm just running it a few times over the finished wood because right now it's a little bit bumpy and it's not very even. It says to do this and then put another coat on top of it and keep doing that until you get however many layers you want, but I just want to protect it, and I'm not nearly scraping off all of the polyurethane, and so this is good enough for me. I'm not nearly scraping off as much on the top desk on this underside, because this is the top, this is the bottom. But on this side, I won't nearly scrape off as much. It's just to make it smoother. And all this actually isn't, see that like dust on it? That's actually just dust. That's not the finished thing. After it's wiped off with a wet towel, you can see that it's better. But yeah, next time you see it, I will be assembling it. Okay guys, first I want to apologize for the light, but as you can see, I've put some metal braces on each of these, and that strip right there is actually just a small strip of wood that I stained because it's actually a 1/4 of an inch short going that way. And so I was planning on that. I put some triangles up there just because this is upside down right now. Just so that when it's sitting that way, it's not going to be pulling on these metal pieces. It'll be resting on that. Have some I have some triangle braces there. And then also screws down the side there. And another metal brace on the back, same on the other side. And so, it's a little bit late, but that's why it's dark. I'm using a flashlight and kind of got the lamp. So, I'll get back to this when I have it in my room and fully assembled, and with better lighting. Okay, I'm not even going to attempt to try to assemble this while I'm on camera, but what I did was I took apart some of the larger chunks. That's one chunk. This big long strip is one chunk. That's one. And that, sorry my shadow's in the way, that was really, really hard to get up the stairs. That's almost 8 feet tall. The ceiling is 8 feet tall. You can see that's like 2 inches off, short of being 8 feet tall. It's going to line up nice with this one. And that's going to wrap around. I'm going to assemble that, and I'll be back, and then I'll put the tabletop on top and get these screws in here, and then one last shot of it all assembled. Okay, sue me. So it's late. That cutout right there is not supposed to be on the bottom. It's supposed to be right about there. Sue me. I'm tired. That's fine. I'll just because these holes right here are going to be on the back anyway. I'm not gonna be able to see them, so I don't mind that. Now that I think about it, there will actually be no bad consequences from this, except for the fact that these four holes, excuse me, will be on the back side of this. But I'm okay with that because I'm never going to see it. So I'm going to pull this out and flip it over, and then I'll be right back. Voila! We're just going to pretend that that didn't happen. That took a lot longer than that should have, but that's okay, because it is fully assembled. I wish you could see the entire view, but let's do the best that I can. The only side effect from that you can see is these two holes here. I might just take these same screws and drill them through there, just so that those holes are covered up, even though you're not going to be able to see them from up here, because this entire thing is going to be filled anyway. But yeah, I'm going to put the top on here and get back to that, finally. Okay, after I think 4 weeks of work, finally got the main desk part done. And I still need to do the shroud, but those are a lot smaller pieces, so I can take my time on that. And this seam right here, I'm not actually too worried about, because underneath is actually a spot you cannot see that at all. 1 second. That's a little better. And that hole right there for cable management, right here, I'm actually going to put a metal brace and kind of secure these two pieces together so that that seam is going to be barely there. Got a hole there for cable management and another one there, and the reason for that is because there's going to be a pillar right here, and so I can't really run the lines all the way down seamlessly, and so I can just run it down there and through this under one. Another one here, this is 2 inches, and then another 2 inches down like that, and my computer is going to be sitting right there, and so yeah, I think it's turning out pretty good so far. I like the finish. Everything has turned out great. It's really smooth, really solid, and so yeah. Well, it is now 10:21, which means I have been officially working on this desk today for a straight 12 hours. My hands are very, very raw. My right elbow hurts a lot, probably from picking this stupid thing up too many times, because that thing weighs a ton. This entire desk probably weighs about 150 to 200 pounds. If you're interested in this build, go ahead and subscribe to me. I'll be doing more on this, and later at the end of the year I will be building a computer. Right now I'm just saving up for it. Go ahead and hit like on this video, helps out a lot, and until next time.